Welcome back to The Bright Side. We're talking about essential fatty acids. Man, I love these things as nutritional supplements. Omega-3s and omega-6s. They're so important for skin health. They're important for mental health. They're important for circulatory system health. Sometimes we don't really appreciate how fundamentally important these essential fatty acids are. Essential meaning you got to have them. Fatty acids meaning they're fatty and they're acidic. They go into making cell membranes. They have a electromagnetic property that allows oxygen, that allows them to attract oxygen into a cell. They're involved in helping cholesterol transport through the body. They're involved in cholesterol storage. They're involved in keeping the skin healthy and maintaining the barrier of the skin so your skin stays soft and moist. Dry skin is a classic sign of essential fatty acid deficiency, and probably the most important, at least one of the most important roles of essential fatty acids is they get turned into prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are actually a type of essential fatty acid, which means your prostaglandins are a type of supplement. They're a type of ultimate EFA. They're a type of ultimate EFA plus. And given that prostaglandin deficiency is really common and underappreciated, it's associated with autoimmune diseases, it's associated with diabetes, it's associated with inflammatory health issues, it's associated with eczema and psoriasis. You definitely want to make sure you're supplementing with your ultimate essential fatty acids or ultimate EFA pluses every day. Prostaglandins are stupendously important when it comes to essential fatty acids are stupendously important when it comes to prostaglandins, but there's other nutrients in addition to EFAs and GLA, a derivative of essential fatty acids. There's other nutrients in addition to these fats that play a role in prostaglandins, keeping prostaglandin production going, keeping prostaglandin balance appropriate. For example, there's a major relationship between zinc and prostaglandins, and between zinc and essential fatty acids, and between zinc and essential fatty acids and prostaglandins. The three of them work together. And because of prostaglandins' incredibly, stupendously important connection to inflammation, prostaglandins, all inflammatory issues have a prostaglandin component. Any inflammatory health issue, which is basically all health issues, arthritis, bursitis, tendinitis, diabetes, autoimmune disease, whatever. They all have all health challenges have some kind of inflammatory component, and any health challenge should be considered via this inflammatory component aspect. Any health challenge should be considered as a demand for zinc as a supplement in addition to essential fatty acids. Zinc is phenomenally important, just like essential fatty acids are phenomenally important. If you have intestinal permeability issues, and many of us do, if you have digestive malabsorption issues, and many of us do, if you had a gallbladder removed, if you have any kind of digestive health issue, if you have fructose malabsorption issues, if you have liver disease, all of these are going to suppress your absorption of zinc. And by the way, anytime you have a suppressed absorption of zinc, if you're not getting zinc out of your foods, you're not absorbing zinc into your blood, chances are pretty good you have an essential fatty acid problem. Again, zinc and essential fatty acids work together. So if you have any kind of absorption issue, fat malabsorption issue, you're going to probably have a zinc deficiency. If you're not getting enough essential fatty acids, the odds are pretty good that you're going to be needing more zinc as well. Zinc and essential fatty acids go together. And there's a major link between zinc deficiency and essential fatty acid deficiency as well. So the health challenges that are associated with essential fatty acids should be considered as health challenges that are associated with zinc as well. Female issues, female reproductive issues, PMS, endometriosis, fibroids, uterine cysts, breast fibroids, breast cysts. These are all signs that you may be deficient in zinc as well as essential fatty acids. Skin issues, acne, dry skin, eczema, psoriasis. Again, these are both, all of these could be considered as signs that you may need both zinc and essential fatty acids. So many reasons why zinc is important for your health. It's hard to know where to begin. Zinc is a key player in the immune system. Zinc is a key player in muscle building. It's important for athletes. If you're weightlifting, if you're bodybuilding, if you're trying to get into shape, zinc is a key player in building muscle and connective tissue. It's important for brain health. It's important for the health of the entire nervous system. And of all the roles, of all the important roles in the body for zinc, there's no role that's more important than skin health and wound healing. Same collagen boosting properties, by the way, that are involved in wound healing make zinc a key player in anti-aging and keeping wrinkles at bay. And given that so many people are deficient in zinc, and given that so few of us are supplementing with zinc, and given that so many of us have digestive problems and problems absorbing zinc, and given that zinc is not really found in great abundance in a lot of foods, it makes it super, super important. If you're interested in anti-aging, if you're interested in building things, if you're interested in the immune system, if you're interested in skin health, that you get on a supplement, a zinc supplement, 50 milligrams a day. Zinc is the quintessential building mineral, the ultimate building mineral. Zinc is associated with protein, it's associated with vitamin A, and it's associated with essential fatty acids, all of which are involved in building. That's why zinc is found in high protein foods. It's found in foods that come from animals that are moving, animals that are heavily musculated, fish, cattle, cows, beef, liver, organ meats. Unless you're eating a lot of fish and seafood and organ meats, chances are pretty darn good that you're going to be deficient in zinc if you're not supplementing. Zinc, by the way, is one of the best supplements you could take to protect yourself from getting the flu. Any day now, you're going to start seeing commercials from these scam artists who run drug companies, or I'm sorry, run drugstores, drugstore chains, telling you, oh, you got to come to our drugstore, no names here, got to come to our drugstore and get your flu vaccine. No, you don't. You got to go to a health food store, vitamin store, and get yourself on 50 milligrams a day of zinc, in addition to making sure you're using the Mighty 90 essential nutrients in your Healthy Start Pack. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. And also, I got a couple websites coming out. One of the products is going to be a retinol product. I love, love, love retinol, but the problem with retinol, the problem with using retinol on the skin, it's somewhat aggressive and somewhat irritating, but over the last 10 or 15 years, I've been working on and finally perfected a very high-dose retinol that is non-irritating, and you could use it. Some people use it every day, but you could certainly use it once a week or twice a week. It's just as potent. In fact, it's more potent than prescription retinoic acid in terms of its ingredients. It's got retinol in a high concentration, the equivalent concentration of a prescription strength Retin-A. It's a lot cheaper than Retin-A. You don't need to go to a doctor to get it. You don't need an insurance company. And it's got a big honking dose of fat-soluble vitamin C along with the retinol. And there's no products anywhere on planet Earth that have high retinol with high vitamin C built in together. And no preservatives to boot. How do you like that? Well, keep listening to this program, and we'll give you more and more information as we move into October, November, when the product gets released. And I'll also have a website that talks about that. And if you're interested in checking out my video with Amanda, where we talk about retinol and its importance, send me an email, ben@ksco.com, and put in the link. Please notify me, or put me on something like that. Put me on the skincare video email list. All right. Talking zinc here. Zinc is also very important for the skin, super important for acne. Zinc is one of the best supplements you could take to keep yourself healthy during the wintertime. You don't need a flu shot. You don't need a flu vaccine. I don't know how firmly I can tell you this, folks. You don't need a flu vaccine. And anybody who tells you that you do is either selling you something or doesn't know crap about the immune system, and that includes your doctor. You don't need a flu vaccine. What you need to do is build your immune system to fight the flu. How do you build your immune system to fight the flu? Number one, you stay off of the immune suppressing foods, primarily sugar, primarily bread, white bread and pasta and rice, and at least restrict your intake of those foods. Use the sweeties that help you metabolize sugar, and make sure you're getting enough zinc. 50 milligrams a day. I like zinc picolinate, or there's another form of zinc called zinc monomethionine. Those are probably the two best forms of zinc. Many skin problems are associated with zinc deficiency. In fact, skin issues can be a classic sign of zinc deficiency. Zinc is important for sexual health, important for the male and female reproductive system. It's important for fertility. It's important for the libido. It's important for the prostate. And given that zinc deficiency is very common, in fact, zinc deficiency may be the most important mineral deficiency of all. Maybe magnesium is up there. Probably zinc and magnesium deficiencies are the two most important mineral deficiencies. As I said earlier, it's a little bit difficult to get zinc from foods. You got to eat a lot of meat. You got to eat a lot of seafood. You got to eat a lot of beans. You got to eat a lot of grains. Zinc is found mostly in high protein foods. Eggs are also a reasonable source of zinc, but you're not going to get that 50 milligram a day dose, which is where you need to be, simply by trying to get your zinc from food. Zinc is, as I said before we went to break, it's found in high-protein foods. It's a building food. There's a very interesting relationship between copper and zinc. There's an antagonistic balance between the two. The more copper you take in, the more zinc you need, and vice versa. The more zinc you take, the more copper you need, which is why you want to use zinc and copper together. Around 2 to 4 milligrams of copper for every 50 milligrams of zinc. The more copper you're taking in, the more zinc you're going to excrete out of your body. The more zinc you're taking in, the more copper you're going to excrete from your body. If you live in a big city that's got old piping, old water piping, like New York City or Detroit or one of the major metropolitan areas where they haven't replaced the piping for a long time, chances are you're getting copper in your water. And that is going to make zinc deficiency even more pronounced. If you're getting copper from copper piping, copper in your water, your zinc deficiency is going to be more significant. The more copper you're getting, the more zinc you're going to be losing. So zinc is a major skin mineral. It's a major player in keeping skin cells growing and dividing at the right pace. It's a major player in keeping zinc sloughing off at the right pace. If skin cells accumulate and they don't slough off, they don't fall off your body, fall off your skin the way they're supposed to, they can fall off in clumps. As skin cells are moving up from the bottom of the skin towards the top of the skin, they make it to the top, they sit on the top for a little bit, and then they flop off individually. You don't even notice this happening because skin cells are microscopic. But if they don't slough off individually, they can slough off in clumps. That's called flaky skin. Skin flakes, which are really a whole bunch of skin cells that are clumped up together, falling off as one chunk. That's what flakiness is. And zinc, because it's associated with helping skin cells move at the right pace, zinc deficiency can be associated with dry skin and skin flakiness. And by the way, this can show up on the scalp, and we call that dandruff. Dandruff is flaky skin on the scalp, and it's caused by the same problems that cause flaky skin on your face or flaky skin anywhere on your body. 60 million Americans have some degree of dandruff, 1 out of 5 Americans. And one of the most popular treatments for dandruff is a shampoo that's made with zinc, Head & Shoulders. It's got zinc in it. That's what makes that's why Head & Shoulders is medicated. It has a form of zinc called zinc pyrithione, and zinc pyrithione utilizes zinc to keep skin cells on your scalp dividing rapidly, or dividing appropriately. I'm not a big believer in using topical zinc for dandruff, but some people get some relief from Head & Shoulders. But because the deficiencies that cause dandruff and the deficiencies that cause skin flakiness are internal deficiencies, they're not topical deficiencies, you want to make sure if you have dandruff, if you have flaky skin, if you have dry skin, that you're getting supplemental zinc, 50 milligrams a day, zinc picolinate, zinc monomethionine, or your dietary zinc. Zinc from foods. You can also use your Healthy Start Pack, which will get you a small amount of zinc. Of course, the Ultimate Daily will also get you a small amount of zinc. There's another mineral that's important for helping keep your skin, keeping skin cells dividing appropriately if you have dandruff or flaky skin. And it's another mineral that's found in medicated dandruff shampoos. I'll tell you about that when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away. Okay, so we're talking zinc and dandruff and skincare issues and all the other good things zinc is important for. We'll continue that tomorrow. We'll talk about zinc and prostaglandins. And then before we went to break, I'll tell you about another mineral. I said I'd tell you about another mineral that's important for helping if you have dandruff, and 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 6 Americans do have dandruff. Zinc is a very important supplement for dandruff sufferers, helps skin cells divide at the appropriate rate, whether those skin cells are on your face or on the top of your head. Selenium is another mineral that's important for dandruff sufferers, just like zinc is. That's why some folks will wash their hair with selenium in the form of Selsun Blue. Selsun Blue is made with selenium as a dandruff medication. And then, as I said earlier, Head & Shoulders is made with zinc as a mineral that's used to treat dandruff. But the bottom line is it's not dandruff and skincare issues are not topical issues. They're not really skin issues as much as they are internal issues that are affecting the skin. This is the most important thing I could tell you from my 30 years of being a skincare professional, developing skincare products and working with people who have skin issues. If you have a skincare problem, you don't have a skincare problem. You got an internal problem that's showing up on the skin. And anybody that works for Proactive or any of these companies that are selling you topical remedies for your skincare issues, issues, they either don't know what they're talking about or they're just taking advantage of you or exploiting you. By the time you see your rash, by the time you see your eczema, by the time you see your zit or a pimple or whatever, it's over. That's the end of it. That's the resolution, and the job of a skincare professional who really cares about your skin, or skincare company who really cares about your skin, is to help you with nutrients or with products that help internally, not externally. Yes, perhaps you can do a few things cosmetically with Proactive or benzoyl peroxide or peels, but aside from two very important nutrients, that's vitamin A and vitamin C, which actually do affect changes in the skin, most ingredients that you use topically are not going to be able to create topical changes on your skin. They can create superficial changes, they can create mechanical changes, they can create appearance changes, they can create cosmetic changes, but they can't create biochemical changes, with a couple of exceptions, most notably retinoids, vitamin A, and vitamin C. All right, we'll continue talking about zinc and its importance for all kinds of stuff, prostate health issues, skincare issues. We'll talk about zinc for female health issues. We'll talk about zinc for bodybuilders, and we'll talk about zinc for a very, very important health issue that affects men as they get older. And then we'll also talk about zinc for a very, very important health issue that affects us all, even when we're not older, even when we're young. We'll do that as we continue talking zinc and prostaglandins and signaling molecules. We'll also, hopefully by the end of the week or early next week, we'll talk about another very important prostaglandin-like signaling molecule that comes from the amino acid arginine. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. As we'll do that probably at the end of this week or beginning next week. Okay, time to hit our phones. 855-660-4261. Gene has been holding on for a long time. What's going on, buddy? Welcome to the bright side.
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning. How's it going, man?
Doing good, thank you, sir. Good morning. I'm calling on behalf of a friend who's about to embark on a 40-day fast.
40 days?
40 days,
Awesome.
liquid only. So he's certainly interested in some nutrition during this time.
Okay.
Just not solid foods.
You want some ideas?
Yeah, looking for some ideas. He's
right.
45, average health. The only thing that I know that's to watch out for, he has a severe allergy to tomatoes and migraines triggered by chocolate.
Okay, well, he probably has, if he knows he has issues with chocolate, he knows he has issues with tomatoes, he probably has some other health issues going on. A fast is probably a great idea. A 40-day fast is somewhat intense, but I have friends who do. I have one friend in particular who's been on the on this show, and he fasts for 40 days periodically, a couple times a year, actually. So it can be done. Not a bad idea, but you do want to make sure you're getting your nutrients. I'd be sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, making sure you're sipping on it, or he's sipping on it. And then also try the Swear V. Get him some Swear V Gold. Or if you can't do the gold, get him the citrus. The gold's probably a little bit better because it doesn't have as much sugar or sweetener in it. I do the citrus when I do my 3-day fast. And have him sipping on that as well as the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. That will get him that will provide a good source of electrolytes, sodium and potassium especially. It'll also be good for his digestive system because of the cultured aspect, the probiotic aspect, and the Swear V is pretty darn tasty as well. So that might be something that he wants to try. If he can do soups, and I don't know how he feels about soups with his fast, but if he can do soups, chicken soup, real chicken soup, bone soup, that can also be helpful for him too. So make sure that he's getting his nutrients. He's going to probably want to make sure he's drinking water, but the more water he drinks when he's fasting, the more critical it is that he gets his B vitamins, his electrolytes, and his vitamin C, which are water-soluble nutrients that he's going to urinate out. So if you're fasting and you're drinking a lot of water with your fast, it becomes extra, extra, extra important, especially if you're doing a long fast, like a multi-day fast, especially a 40-day fast, that he gets his electrolytes, his B vitamins, and his vitamin C, which are his energizing nutrients. Those are going to get urinated out with his water, the more water he drinks. So make sure he's using some electrolyte-rich drink like the Swear V, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, or Bone Soup, preferably all three. If you can do vegetable juices, that can help also. Get a Vitamix and drop in cucumbers and celery and maybe some kale or whatever he likes, really, beet, if he wants a little bit of sweetness, and that way he'll get his electrolytes. So make sure he's getting his water-soluble nutrients and electrolytes. Swear V, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, soups and vegetable juices. That's what I'd be doing. Gino, hope that helps you. Anything else?
Follow up on this.
Sure.
Can we find an alternative to the Beyond Tangy Tangerine because he has a tomato allergy?
There's no tomato. There's only some tomato powder in there. I don't think that should be a problem. There's no protein. When you're allergic to something, you're allergic to protein. All right? There's some slight exceptions to that, but 99% of the time, it's a protein that you're allergic to. 99.9% of the time. When you get the protein powder in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, that's not protein. So even if you're allergic to peach, and I hear people say, oh, I'm allergic to peach, I can't do the peach. Baloney. You can do the peach. What you can't do is the proteins that are attached to the peach in real peach. So the fruit and vegetable powder is not going to affect them. And to answer your question, the reason I talk about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine so much is because there's no alternative to it. Zero. And I've been formulating products, folks, for 30 years, nutritional products and skincare products. And I'm telling you, Richard Wren, who formulated the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and 2.0 and now working on 3.0, did such an incredible job with that. As a formulator, I'm in awe of it. I'm in awe of that product. And there is nothing that you can get anywhere on the internet or in any health food store, anywhere, that can duplicate the nutrient density of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, all the various nutrients in there. That's why I talk about this so much. Yeah, you guys, I'm a healthcare professional. My job is your health. I'm not telling you about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine because I want to make 50 cents on a jug of Beyond Tangy Tangerine. I'm telling you this because I love you guys. And I want you to be better, and I want you to feel stronger, and I want you to feel more vital and leverage your God-given right to being healthy. That's what the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is about. And hang tight. I'll finish this when I come back from our break. I hope I helped you, Gene. I'm going to move on. Thanks so much. All right, we're back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thank you for joining us. I was going to continue my rant here on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which I absolutely love, and I personally use it every day. Prebiotic rich. Beyond Tangy Tangerine tastes great. GMO free. And it's a great source of liquid nutrients that we lose every day when we urinate, when we go to the bathroom. First thing in the morning, if you've gone to the bathroom a couple times in the middle of the night, once or twice in the middle of the night, you're going to be deficient in your electrolytes and energizing nutrients. It's no wonder why we feel like crap after a good night's sleep, and we go get coffee. Maybe we just need some nutrition. Maybe we just need some electrical nutrition. Maybe we just need some B vitamins tomorrow morning. Get yourself some Beyond Tangy Tangerine first thing in the morning. Even have a little BTT sitting by your bedside. So first thing in the morning, sip on some BTT. Watch what happens. Instant energy. Boom, just like that. Try it in the middle of the day when you ordinarily would need a nap or feel like snacking or going to get some coffee or some Diet Coke or whatever kind of caffeine drink you like. Try some BTT. See what happens. It's $50 a canister. It's not caffeine. It's not a drug. It's just health and nutrition. You're going to feel better. You're going to reduce your risks of degenerative diseases later on down the road. And you're going to be getting a great nutritional supplement. All right, 855-660-4261 is our number. What is up, Wes in Idaho? Welcome to the bright side.
Hello, Ben.
What's up? What's going on, man?
Zinc helps as cells communicate as a neurotransmitter, and animal foods are a better source of zinc than plant foods, what I read.
Wait a minute, I didn't understand anything you just said except the end. You're right. Animal foods, that's true. Animal foods are a better source of minerals than grains and beans, although if you're vegan, that's the way you want to do it. But I didn't understand what you said when you first started.
Okay, zinc helps the cells communicate as a neurotransmitter.
Is zinc a neurotransmitter? It's not necessarily a neurotransmitter itself, but it does support neurotransmitters. But there may be some signaling. It may have some signaling properties. I'm not convinced that I don't know that it doesn't. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm reading here.
That does make sense.
The subject of Ebola and the theory of disease. I wanted your comment on Antoine Beauchamp and Louis Pasteur.
Okay. That's a lot of questions there. That's a lot of questions. So let's talk first. You mentioned the zinc, and that's I don't know that zinc is specifically a neurotransmitter, but it does support nerve conduction, nerve signaling, neurotransmitters, nerve health. It's very important for the brain. You got high concentrations of zinc in the intellectual center, the memory center, the learning center of the brain. So zinc, and it may be, there are people who do believe that zinc is a neurotransmitter. I have heard that. But I don't know if I've ever seen anything definitive about that. In any case, without getting to the specifics, yes, it is involved on some level in neurotransmission. Whether or not it's actually a neurotransmitter, I don't know, although some people believe it is. The second thing you asked about Ebola, and I'm always skeptical when I read something on CNN, as many of you guys are. When I read something in the mainstream press, or I hear them trumpeting some kind of story or some kind of narrative like Ebola or ISIS or whatever you hear repeated over and over and over again, my spidey sense starts to tingle. I get red flags go up when they want me to believe something. I always want to know, what are they trying to get me to think? And usually it involves some kind of fear or some kind of scare tactic. Well, guess what, you guys? You got an immune system that's supposed to take care of viruses and flus and pathogens, and that immune system is suppressed by fear. So the very fact that we're in fear about Ebola is the best way to get Ebola, or to get viruses, or to get colds, or to suffer from things. And that's why I'm always saying, don't fall into fear. If somebody is promoting fear, turn it off. Be skeptical. Don't pay attention. Fear is never your friend. Anger, distress, these are all ways that we age. These are all ways that our immune system shuts down or is at least suppressed. So you got to be really careful when anybody is promoting fear, and this Ebola thing does nothing but promote fear. Build your immune system. Don't eat the corporate crap. Don't eat the McDonald's. Don't eat the Nestle's. Don't eat the stuff that they want us to eat via commercials and that they're promoting on the same TV shows same news shows where they tell you about how bad Ebola is, and get on a nutritional supplement program. Get 50 milligrams of zinc a day. Get on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. These are all things we can do that are in our control, that we can do to build our immune system to prevent Ebola. There's viruses. We live in a world of viruses. They're all over. There's parasites all over. There's bacteria all over. There's toxins all over. We're swimming and breathing in a toxic planet. So you can't really run away from toxins. But what you can do is you can build and strengthen your body's ability to withstand these pathogens and toxins and viruses and poisons, etc. And you can stay away from anything that suppresses your body's ability to handle these kinds of things. And that's how you handle Ebola, in my opinion. Now, the last thing you asked was about Beauchamp and Luis Pasteur, and that's a fascinating story. Beauchamp and Pasteur conducted this battle in the 19th century where Pasteur promoted something called the germ theory. Back then they didn't know about germs and bacteria. And Beauchamp said it wasn't so much germs and bacteria, but it was the territory. It was the body itself where the germs proliferate, that the germs can actually attack and come to rest in, because the body itself is the immune system, the body's defensive system, is somehow suppressed. So Beauchamp said what I'm saying. Build the body, build the defenses, make sure that the territory is not conducive to germs. The body's territory is not conducive to proliferation of germs or viruses or toxins or pathogens, etc. And then this was this great battle that went on in the 19th century, in the 1800s, and Louis Pasteur said, no, it's the germs, and Beauchamp said, no, it's the territory. Interestingly, on Louis Pasteur's deathbed, and by the way, we get the term pasteurize from Louis Pasteur, who came up with the germ theory. Pasteurization is killing germs. Anyway, Louis Pasteur on his deathbed said, Chakre bleu, it is the territory. Something like that. I don't know if he said chakre bleu, but he said it is the territory. Beauchamp was right. So Louis Pasteur on his deathbed actually agreed with Beauchamp and said, yes, it is the territory that is the problem. The territory, namely the body itself, that needs to be addressed. Is that what you meant, Wesley? I think we lost Wes. Okay. Thanks for your call. Thanks for pointing that out, Wes. All right, I'm going to try to run through our calls real quickly here because we only have a couple of minutes. Truth Raider, what's going on, my man? How you doing, Karl?
Good morning, my friend, Pharmacist Ben from beautiful Boulder, Colorado.
Good morning, sir. I got only 2 minutes. I want to squeeze in some more calls. So what's cooking on? What's on your mind, Truth Raider?
Let's talk about the phenomenon of 3D printing and life extension technologies really quick.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, what is your research on that? And do you believe in that? And what do they use to be able to do that? How is this possible?
3D printing?
Yes.
I just saw this really cool thing on C-SPAN yesterday where they had a guy talking to Congress. It was interesting. There was only 2 people. He was talking to 2 congressmen. None of the other congressmen thought it was important enough. But anyway, he was showing all the things that could be built with 3D printing. And these days, they can make some incredible parts for machines and for cars and for toys and for industrial equipment that are complex and made up of smaller parts simply by printing them with a printer. They have prototype kidneys that they're doing with 3D printing machines. They got food that they're printing with 3D printing machines. This guy was showing clothing that was printed with a 3D printing machine, shoes and socks that were printed with 3D printing machine. Can you imagine a world like this, Truth Raider, where we print whatever we need? There's going to be no more stores in the future, no more Walmart, no more Kmart, because you'll print everything that you need. What's even more phenomenal about 3D printing, and by the way, you can get a 3D printing machine for like $1,000 at Office Max, but what's even cooler about 3D printing machines now is people are actually donating software to the internet or via the internet that people can download for free to print things. There are people, good Samaritans, and people who just want to help out are actually putting software that you can get for free on the internet. You download the software to print anything, to print whatever the software will tell you to print. It's absolutely mind-blowing, and it really, to me, it's an exciting, it presents exciting prospects for the future. You know, there's all this doom and gloom about the future. Well, I don't have doom and gloom about the future. Yes, we're going through a rough patch. It kind of reminds me of when on Star Trek when they went from warp speed 2 to warp speed 3, and they went through this kind of choppy period, and then all of a sudden they went into the next level. As we take leaps, quantum leaps from one level to another, there's a sort of period where it gets choppy and bumpy and rough, and then you go into smooth sailing. And to me, all the problems, our economic problems, our global problems, our political problems, our military and terrorist problems, all those kinds of things are just our culture, our world, humanity, going from one level of evolution to another. We're about to take an evolutionary leap, and technology is leading the way. Not that we're using technology appropriately all the time, but in the way I look at it, 3D printing and technological advances are leading the way and pointing the way towards a very, very exciting future, a future that I'm excited about. All right, thanks for your call, Truth Raider. I don't know if I answered your question, and I apologize if I left anybody on hold. Please call back tomorrow, and we'll take you first up. Tell our call screener we let you on hold, and we'll take you first up. And we only have an hour on the bright side, and so much to talk about. Anyway, thanks for listening, folks. If you're interested in joining the Bright Side Ben team, please call the phone team at 866-735-2470. We'll be back at you tomorrow with good health information. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have an awesome, beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.